DigitalOcean, a website hosting company, has taken down Hatreon, the Patreon alternative website, likely due to it allowing the Daily Stormer to crowdfund there. Even if you disagree with their views, you should be wary of this. These verified Twitter accounts attacked DigitalOcean as well as Cloudflare to have Daily Stormer removed from the internet entirely and to have their crowdfunding website taken down. DigitalOcean has taken down Hatreon, the Patreon alternative, likely due to it allowing the Daily Stormer to crowdfund there. Even if you disagree with their views, like many do, you should be wary of this. This won't end here. These verified Twitter accounts attacked DigitalOcean as well as Cloudflare to have the Daily Stormer removed from the internet, as well as having their crowdfunding platform taken down. The entire platform. While I don't support their views, I do support their First Amendment rights. And to those of you who don't think this is an instance of censorship, just wait for another month or so, and you will see what I mean. Verified Twitter accounts have discovered that they do have a little bit of pull by harassing companies and large groups in order to pressure them to remove harmful views from the internet. Now that they realize this power, they will weaponize it to silence anyone else they might disagree with, which, as most of you know, is most of the logical world. It will only be until one of these companies stands their ground against the mob of blue checkmarks that this might start going the other way. We are now in the age of removing people from social media platforms, which will only make them a sort of forbidden knowledge, which will cause a bit of a Streisand effect. We have two options, at least as far as I can tell. Jim, Mr. Metokur, claimed in his most recent video that we need to weaponize net neutrality using the threat of government integration to fight back at them. And maybe they might realize that allowing all of us to be online will be better than the government deciding that they are a utility. This will be bad for everyone, as it will likely lead to FCC-like regulations on the entire internet. However, this will be our way of dragging them down to a digitally assured destruction, as he called it. It's an interesting video. I would encourage you to watch it. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested. Here's my idea. We need to be more active with our ISPs and web hosts, so that when these checkmark stampedes come through, they are brave enough to stand up to the verified bullies. This will take coordination, and frankly, I don't think it will be very easy, but the idea of taming the digital Wild West, quite frankly, makes my stomach churn. Now let's take a look at what the Cloudflare CEO had to say regarding removing the Daily Stormer from their website. Let me be clear, this was an arbitrary decision. It was different than what I talked about with our senior team yesterday. I woke up this morning in a bad mood and decided to kick them off the internet. I called our legal team and told them what we were going to do. I called our trust and safety team and had them stop the service. It was a decision I could make because I'm the CEO of a major internet infrastructure company. Having made that decision, we now need to talk about why it is so dangerous. I'll be posting something on our blog later today. Literally, I woke up in a bad mood and decided someone shouldn't be allowed on the internet. No one should have that power. He even outright just says it, just like that. It is essential to always stand up for everyone's right to speak, not judge the content itself. Now, like I said, some people are going to say, but my private business. Well, what you're seeing here is coordinated attacks to pressure companies to not allow certain people on the internet. It's getting really hairy. If you think it's going to end here, think again. So, I wanted to show you this last clip before I end the video, and it's quite frankly disgusting. Now, I'm no supporter of the Confederacy, but I understand that the Civil War was part of my history as an American. And I'm also willing to believe that the Civil War was about more than just racism. There was a lot to do with, I believe, big business and farmers fighting each other. It was very complicated. It wasn't just simply, oh, these people are racist and we were the righteous ones. No, the Union only freed the slaves so they could win the war. And look, history is history. I'm not going to take sides because I'm always willing to accept the idea that history is written by the victors of war. And I think monuments, keeping them up, at the very least, putting them in a museum is really important. Oh, by the way, they're putting up Stalin monuments in Russia. So while we're pulling down and destroying our history, they're actually putting up monuments, new monuments for Stalin, a person who murdered tens of millions of people. But anyway, before I ramble on too long, let's take a look at this clip and you'll see what I mean. This man should have every right to go out and salute this statue without people harassing them. And just go ahead and watch.
Terrorists go home! 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 And you're doing this, but you can just stand up over. Terrorists go home! Get out! Terrorists go home! Tear it down! Tear it down! Tear it down! Tear it down! Terrorists go home!
I wanted to honor my ancestors today, sir. They need to know that what they fought for wasn't slavery or oppression of people.
Can't walk out of the park by yourself, huh? So proud and brave.
You want another day like Saturday, don't you? You should be ashamed of yourself.
That blood is on your hands,
No, it's
not mine.
Something I wanted to point out before I end the video. You notice they were chanting, "Terrorist, go home. Terrorist, go home," in this man's face, flipping him off at point-blank range. This is, of course, because a man drove his car into a crowd of people. Now, hey, we haven't even heard from the man yet. I'm still skeptical of everything we've heard about it. That having been said, the idea of using that person as a monolith for not just alt-right people, but people who support the Confederacy, it goes on forever. They associate anyone with this monolith. Can you imagine if they were doing this to a Muslim person? Considering that even today there was an attack in Barcelona. Someone drove their truck through a crowd of people. And guess who? And the funny thing is if you try to paint all of Muslims in this light, they will be the first ones to say, hey, you can't do that. You shouldn't judge one person to be an example of their entire group. But then here are these same people screaming in this man's face, calling him a terrorist. And in his own words speak louder than what I could say. So at least in his beliefs, whether he is right or wrong, he believes that the Civil War wasn't about racism and slavery. And maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. But these people, these lovers of tolerance, this is who they really are. Don't ever let them forget it.